And we're back for game number 2. Manten gets his choice of battlefield, and once again, I really think that's where things kind of went off the rails. He was able to get the BT1 back and down later on, but not being able to just snap it off right in his opening hand kind of cost him a couple draws there, and cost him some guaranteed damage. And we saw, if things had worked out a little bit differently with the rolls there at the end, he could have been within striking distance, only 1 damage off. It could have worked out. But we see 0 win conditions drawn from Nightbringer. It's a very, very slow start. He'll get the Separatist Battle Droid craft, or Separatist Landing Craft down, and be able to stockpile on shields, which feels really nice, and he might be able to use the deflect. But we are going to see a heavy, heavy amount of indirect damage start coming across the table right off the rip with a 00041, which has got to feel really good. Now, Stifle's actually doing something pretty cool here, where it's preventing unnecessary card draw. You can't play the crash landing, you can't play the dangerous maneuver to actually draw any cards or anything, but he will just go ahead and clear a Stifle. I'd be curious to see if we see the other Stifle come down, but I don't really think that would be the best move. Also, worryingly, is the Force Illusion in the opening hand can draw you out of your own win conditions if you pop it down too early. So it's going to sit there and clutter up just a little bit. I love drawing my Force Illusions and throwing Snoke around too. I don't generally like having them right from the beginning of the game. Let's get that natural money. Natural money is going to think about the number to call. He's calling 2. Says, I don't want any more droids or anything coming across. And he's going to get nothing for his trouble. And I think that was a small mistake by Manten in not responding to the Stifle with anything. Although I would have to... Yeah, you could just play Crash Landing into it, which wasn't going to do you much good either. Or anyway. And then you could have used the hidden motive on the Thrawn die. Blank City, population, Manten. Yeah, so that Separatist droid is or the Separatist craft is certainly coming down right away. And if he waited on that focus, could have actually picked up an additional money. Because now he's spending an entire focus on the Separatist droid, which is kind of unnecessary. He could have just waited, played that out, rolled it down, and then used 2 focus to focus the droid and Thrawn at the same time, then come out of the turn with an additional cash. It is what it is. He's going to be starting next round with money to play anything he wants. He could get an instant tie swarm regardless. And we're seeing just some make work deal right here. Actually could be quite a bit of indirect coming across the table very swiftly. If he focuses over to 2 indirect on Snoke and then 2 indirect on Afra, he can use the Snoke power action and get a total of 8 slammed across. But he plays it a little safe. A little safe. And this Force Illusion could very well bite Nightbringer in the butt. I think that was a very misplayed turn by Manten on that. Unfortunately for him, that hover tank's gonna come down and just be a big old pain in the ass. But gonna roll out Thrawn first. He's gonna say 2 and snatch away that BT1. A bajillion dollars. Say 2, right? Alright. He does have Slave 1 money. Slave 1 money isn't terrible. He's got no methodology by which to make use of the 000 ability. So small differences are going to start adding up to be a big disparity of where he could have been. Slave 1, the classic power action that everybody forgets about. And a discount on the ATSD. Manten does love that one side on the battle droid though. A little bit of 3 direct damage action. And it's just a matter of getting it applied. I don't want to be targeting Thrawn, but it's better than slamming 3 into a Force Illusion at this point. Whereas if he had done it the turn previous, he would have gotten those 4 cards ripped off the top. And that would have kept the, I want to say, everything but the hover tank from being drawn. It's hard to imagine you don't Force Illusion 4 indirect damage. Painful as it can be. I see no compelling reason not to just get that hover tank out onto the field. The Beguile, you're not super worried about here. Don't necessarily need to keep Beguile money up. Even if you did, you could just grab those 2 Thrawn resources right now. Make that happen. Freaks out with the focus. If you hadn't rolled focus there, then he would have been in an unfortunate position of maybe possibly needing to re-roll with the Beguile. But that focus is going to save him a lot of consternation. I would have actually not resolved the Thrawn money right there. I would have used that Thrawn die for additional focus on this round to guarantee best results on the Chance Cube, the Separatist Craft, and then the Hover Tank. And you come out of it with probably, less overall, less being defined as however you want it to be defined, but you get guaranteed results. And that would have been 2 to the entire team and 2 shields on top of. And with just a little bit of luck, you could get 2 more indirect on top of all that. But now, with only the 1 other die to focus with, either he's not planning on playing that hover tank at all, or he's going to end up taking the luck of the draw on whatever he happens to roll with it. Manten gets nothing off of that Slave 1 power action. It's one of the most frustrating things sometimes. You kind of have to know what you're shooting for. If he was going to do that, he probably should have done it earlier to take the focus off the table. Because at that time, with the chance cube on blank, no matter what he had rolled with the Slave 1 power action, he would have been able to get something off the table. He is going to be able to focus over to indirect and do a power action for indirect. And naturally rolls that special. Just going to hose down the team. Two to everybody. And headway is being made for Nightbringer here. I would call this a stabilized position for sure. And he's got everything in the world he could ask for. Dorsal turret coming up at just the right time to throw down onto that hover tank. That feels pretty good. The CDA is going to start making a little bit of headway though. It can proc off of the 000. Start doing 3 damage in activation. And then Dangerous Maneuver will push a little more damage over onto the other side. We see Manten getting a yellow die with the widest range possible out onto the field to make use of that power action if necessary. Gets the 0 call, Dangerous Maneuver walking away. A little bit of damage lost, a little bit of card draw lost. And Manten is still in the unfortunate position of needing to find ways to scrabble up enough damage to overcome the Separatist craft getting focused to 2 shields every single time. Now, all that being said, Nightbringer doesn't have too many ways to affect the board this round. Only the Feel Your Anger. And a wide array. Anything but blank will remove a die here. And it's just not Manten's day. The one result that results in nothing. Really unfortunate. I'm getting focused over to cash with then additional focus back up means that Vader's Fist is coming down and it's going to cause a lot of problems. With that much focus left on the table and with a very low chance of any mitigation getting drawn off of this climate disruption array, Nightbringer knows that Fist, when it comes down, is going to be doing 9 damage. No mitigation gets drawn, just a probe. And we're going to see things really start to heat up here. Not only can he get 9 damage out of the Fist, he can get, if things go his way a little bit, he can go ahead and get another 9 damage to the team out on that hover tank. And if sequencing goes the way that he likes on that, then he can just outright kill the battle droid first off and then start applying indirect right back at him. And my constant struggle with the Afrodex is becoming readily apparent here, where it is sometimes impossible to find the cash to resolve these paid sides, which are on nearly every die in the deck. It's quite irritating at times. And this battle droid is going to be able to get snoked before it dies to, or before it gets too low from the hover tank. Make that difference. But I think Manten would just accept the loss of the battle droid in this instance just to get 3 more damage. He doesn't know the fist is coming. And 10 health remaining for Manten on top of whatever the Force illusion will block. Unlikely 3 damage. So we'll call that 13 health total. I'm about to stare down a triple resolve fist and some sort of reroll action on this ATST. Pretty frightening place to be. And any side of that fist die in this matchup is perfectly resolvable, except for the disrupt. You're pretty much never going to get your money's worth out of the disrupt in this match. But even 2 shields is pretty great. Not gonna lie. Nightbringer finally pops that Force Illusion. Loses the other Force Illusion, as is tradition, and a TIE Fighter for the trouble. I think we just saw a small misplay there. Foregoing the opportunity to play the Feel Your Anger. Could have lost it to the instinct is to save it for when your opponent does their focus. It's somewhat risky. Focusing the ATST will kill Snoke. And leave only Afra left to stare down 2 additional resolutions off of Vader's face. And we see that loss to the Feel Your Anger, and only 000 left on the other side of the board to get anything done. And Manten just concedes from there, which makes sense. Pretty much an unwinnable position. And Nightbringer will be moving on to the finals to face off against, I have to go back and look, Jan, aka Whiterling. And that'll be a Thrawn Snoke versus Thrawn Snoke finals, and I hope to be able to get that out pretty quickly. So well played by both players here. Congratulations to Nightbringer, and I'm sure Manten will be making another appearance in the top 16 off of the Season 8 league that is in progress right now.